Hey everyone, welcome back to a new Wizard101 test run video. I want to do a follow-up on the last crafting video I did, which was on the actual quest, because there is a little bit more to crafting than just the new quest that they added and the new wands for revered crafting. They also added in, just this week, the gear that you can craft. So we had Chrysalis gear, there was no crafted gear for Mirage, but Empyrea we have some that they've added in. You can get it from this guy over here. So we'll be looking at those, but before we look at that, I wanted to just kind of rehash what we were talking about with the new wands, because there's been a lot of debate about these wands. And here's the one for Storm, the Ionis Focus Sword. And I was looking through the reagents. I was even trying to get some of the reagents just to see. I'm not going to actually craft this on Test Realm just because it's going to take a lot of work. I will be doing it on a live realm, and that'll be something that I'll be going for. It'll probably take a little bit because these reagents are not the easiest thing ever. But some things that people were talking about, and things that I was thinking about, these wands give 2 square sockets. I didn't even realize that. So that's also a plus from this one. So 2 square sockets on a wand, and you can get the energy and the fishing, luck on there. So these wands, they kind of just thrown a bunch of things together that could really boost stats. I mean, there's high damage, so it's definitely something worth going for. And that's why people are upset about some of these reagents and how hard they are to get. I mean, I guess the only one that people are really upset about is going to be the participation trophy, because to get 5, you need 5,000 arena tickets, and each time you want to craft this, you need to get those 5,000 arena tickets on each character that you have. So for instance, my Storm, I had a lot of arena tickets on because I've done tournaments in the past. My Life, on the other hand, I'm going to have to do more tournaments in order to get that. And some people were saying that, for Crowns players, doing tournaments is difficult because you have to actually pay Crowns to do that. So I can understand that, which is why the only suggestion I can really give for that is to get a membership for a month and then do your tournaments during that, because then they'll be gold only and you can do it that way. But I don't know. There's still a lot of debate on that. They could still change it, so we'll have to wait and see. Shank skills, I looked around for this. I found one forum post on it, and people said that they could get it from fishing, but no one confirmed that they actually got one from fishing. So this one I'm not sure about. Shocked keys. I tried, and I probably opened like 15 or so silver chests, and I only got 2. So the drop rate on that is kind of low, but you need 10 of those per one that you craft. So that could be a little bit of a time sink right there, getting all of those. Flying Squid Ink and Ether. This one isn't bad because you can just find them around on the ground in Empyrea. Flying Squid Ink is from enemies, and I've only gotten 2 in my entire journey through part 1. So this one could take a little bit of time to get 45. So there's a lot that could go into crafting these things, and it's a lot of work. So I hope it's worth it, because to complete the quest, you have to craft these wands. There's now a big barrier to continuing crafting once you get to Empyrea, because Mirage crafting was pretty easy. You didn't have to craft anything, but Empyrea crafting, you have to craft these wands in order to complete the quest. Because if I never craft this quest stays here and I don't complete this crafting requirement. So there's a lot riding on this. I will definitely be crafting this on my Storm and my Life eventually, because I want to do crafting on all my characters, but it's getting more difficult to do that. In the past we used to just craft housing stuff, and now we have to craft wands that have a fairly, at least right now, a fairly high difficulty in getting all those items. So that's just how it is. But items are usually scarce in the beginning when a world just comes out, so things could change. But that's just my kind of my opinion on everything that's been going on with people's talking about the new craftable wands. So the other thing that you can craft is the gear. They have gear from this guy that they've added in for every school, so we'll just go through it quick. I'll mostly be focusing on the Storm gear, but here's the universal one and balance. I'm just going to go through these quick just in case you want to see a certain one. You can pause the video on those, and then I'll be talking about the Storm ones specifically. So here's all the gear. I mean, the robes, you're probably not going to craft a robe. I mean, come on, even the universal one is just not the best, but the boots are good. You might craft the boots for the crit and damage. The damage is really high. Look at that, like 30% almost. 32% for Storm. What is fire? 35%. Wow, fire is just getting so much damage on these. What is fire's damage on the hat? 28 for Storm, and fire gets 29. I can't believe fire gets 35% on the boots. That's a lot. So there's all the different ones for each school. Let's go ahead and start with the Storm hat here. So to craft this, you need an item that's just dropped. I have 7 of them, so they're pretty commonly dropped just around Empyrea. Leather straps, this you just collect. Kelp. Kelp you're going to have to find in the bazaar, 150. So if you're planning on crafting this, you might as well go on Live Realm and get as much kelp as you can right now. You need spider silk. So these are 2 things that you need for this one. I will be crafting this just because I want to have it for a... If I ever want to run a super high damage set, this is what I will use, because 28% damage is a lot. That is a lot, because the only other hat that I've really used is the Master one. There is the crit one from Chrysalis, but I never really use that too much. I just think the Master one is too good to pass up on. This is a hat that you will use if you only want to go for crit and high damage, like a really high damage. So it's decent for certain circumstances, but it's not like a total well-rounded set like the Darkmoor. But crafted gear has never been like that. Crafted gear has always been like crit and damage. So now we just get an increase of that. So this is what you would use if you wanted to go for that. You would craft this. So there's the gear, or the items you need to craft this gear. So pretty good. I like the damage. I will be crafting these just to see how much damage I can get on my storm now, because it's insane. This one isn't really worth mentioning because it's not that good. I mean, I would never craft this and use it. High health though, but it's just not something that I think is going to be worth it for me. So I won't be using that. The boots, however, are really good. The boots, you need some boots that are dropped in Empyrea somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where. I'll have to look around for these. But you do need these to craft it. And then leather straps, some of the ether again. Or ether. I think it's ether, right? Ether dust. And then you need kelp. It's the same recipe, basically. You need kelp and spider silk. So I'm going to have to like stock up on kelp and spider silk on Live Realm, because to craft both of these, you need a lot. So is it the same for the other ones? Yeah. Kelp is going to become scarce soon. So I'm going to go ahead and buy those on Live Realm as soon as I can, if there's any. If it's not, well, you're going to have to try to get it in some other way, because everything is basically the same recipe. So, but this gear, the boots, high health, decent resist. You get 5% on the accuracy, which is the same as the boots I'm using. 112 crit and 32% damage. That 32% damage is crazy. Like, that's a lot. Let me go ahead and compare it to more relevant boots for this. Is it Halston's? Yeah, Halston's are the best. Well, I also got the other ones. We're just gonna compare. So these ones, for comparison, less critical than the Professor's Horde ones, but a lot more damage. Like, that is a ton. That is 9% more damage. So you get a lot more damage here, but you're losing out on other stats like Power Pip. If you go for these crafted pieces of gear, you are going to have to make up for Power Pip in some other way. But I've done that before, because Time Warden boots were also a critical piece of gear for high critical and high damage. Do these replace it? Let me see. Wait, did I even put them on? I think I need to back out of that. Okay. Let's compare it again. Yeah, here we go. So these ones are pretty evenly matched in terms of what they are. Like, they're almost exact, except the new ones are higher health, the same exact stat until we get to crit, which it's a little less crit, not that big of a deal, but 4% more damage. So these are basically the replacement for the boots from the Sands of Time. So we get the replacement with crafted gear, which makes sense because this is how crafted gear usually works out. So this would be the upgrade for that. If you never got the Storm Crit boots from Sands of Time, you can get it here, you can craft it and use it. And these are a lot better. 4% damage is a big difference there. So that's really good. I use my Time Warden boots from, what is it, the Jabberwock or the Shadowwalk. I use them on some of my sets. So I'll definitely be crafting these. I feel like I should craft these more than the hat, but I just want to craft the hat just to have it. So that's basically what I'm looking at for the crafted gear from Empyrea here. You can also get, I could also have some other things you can craft, like new housing items. I haven't even loaded these in. There's some other things. The Beastman's seat. Okay. The Beastman chair. What do you need for this? You have to be a revered crafter. So to craft this, to craft all of these items, but not these. Hold on. You don't need to. Yeah, you can craft these without being revered. But to craft these, you have to be revered. So that means you have to have already crafted your weapon. So A lot goes into that. I wonder if there's other items that you can craft besides just furniture that requires revered crafting. Let's go look at Ignis quick, because he's another one that has some craftable stuff. I think they fixed him with like the 200 pages of crafting. We're just going to check that quick before we wrap up this video. But that just gives you guys a good idea of what the crafted gear is for Empyrea. It's critical and damage gear, which is what we expected. But hopefully you guys were able to see whatever school you are if you want to go for that gear. See if it's worth it for you. So let's talk to Ignis quick and see if anything changed with that, because I haven't checked him since the update. So Ignis, recipe shop. I don't know, it's kind of weird to me that the quest is called Hi-Yo Silver Chest, and yet Silver Chest is not even that big of a deal for this, you know? Like, Silver Chest is a very small part of everything you have to get for this, which includes tournaments for arena tickets, right? A lot of farming in Empyrea. This, I guess, is fishing, right? But it's not even confirmed from anyone. So, I think it's like, you know, downplaying all the things you have to do with that title. Okay, let's see. Have they changed anything? So they changed it back to just the... He only has the weapons. Okay, so they fixed it. So yeah, let's look at the life one, because I haven't looked at it yet. Revered, life, 40 critical, 17% damage, and that. Yeah, I probably wouldn't use this much in my life, if at all. But I would get it just to craft and get the crafting, because you need... I want to get revered crafting in my life, so that's why I would do it. But again, you need shop keys, you need participation trophy, all that stuff. So that's crafting right now. They definitely stepped up their game with the crafting requirements for everything. So it will be a lot of work, especially if you have multiple characters that are high level. It'll take you guys some effort to be able to craft all these things. But if you have arena tickets to spare, you know, might as well use it on this. Start saving up arena tickets, start saving up other items, other reagents that you might need to craft that, like help and stuff. So hope that was insightful for you guys to see what you need for crafting when this comes out on Live Realm and what to expect for it. If you enjoyed it, if it was helpful, leave a like on this, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time.